So right now, everybody is talking about what is going on with the Kansas City Royals. You heard the announcement yesterday from owner John Sherman and the team that their desired location is to move from the K to the old Kansas City Star building just south of T-Mobile in the Crossroads district. And this has been met with, listen, yes, people have looked at the renderings and said, woo, baseball downtown, this is exciting. But there's still a lot of questions. And one of the folks pushing back is David Johnson. He is a board member, former president of KC Crossroads, and he is joining us on KCMO Talk Radio. David, good morning. Thanks for being here. Your big concerns, what are they? And share with this audience what is concerning to you right now as you look at this proposal from the Royals downtown.
Yeah, thanks, Pete. Good morning. So our number one concern is protecting the small businesses that are going to be impacted by this 18-acre redevelopment. A lot of people come down to the Crossroads and look at this site in particular, and they see, small commercial buildings that may not appear useful, but the Crossroads has a pretty strong history of turning those types of buildings into really cool, amazing spaces that put Kansas City on the map. And so, especially for tenants who don't own their own buildings and may not financially benefit from a sale directly, that's who we're really focused on first and foremost. And then second...
Yeah, go ahead.
Second is, the security and cleanliness around a stadium. That's a new thing for us to be dealing with. We already deal with First Fridays every month, and that's can be up to a 20,000 person crowd. And we've got the resources to handle that. But a $34,000 person sports game in the middle of everything else that's going on, there's going to be some additional issues for us to deal with.
Well, you note the tenants, and I think that's a very good point to bring up, that people might say, well, it's okay, these people are going to be bought out of their properties, the Royals, negotiate with them. But the coffee shops and the breweries and things like that, the restaurants, most of the time, they're just leasing that property, so they won't make any money off this. So what have you heard from some of these small business owners and restaurateurs on their concerns and what this might mean for them and their future?
Well, what we've been able to parse from the people who we've talked to, which isn't everybody, but we are the neighborhood association, and a lot of these businesses and property owners are our members. And so what we've been told is not everybody's been contacted at all. So, that's a concern. And these are some property owners in the direct footprint of the ballpark, not yet contacted. And also that some are not willing to sell or have perhaps been offered by a surrogate with unclear terms, something that would be binding to them that they, kind of refuse to sign. Because number one, we didn't know the information. Really, nobody had the information until yesterday afternoon. So I think we're hearing that people are going to take some time to process, whatever offer they might receive, what the conversation is with the team about how they're going to fit into the neighborhood, not geometrically, but it's an arts district. People really kind of need to remember that. And, my personal reaction to the site was, what about Major League Baseball fits in an arts district? And we did hear some comments during the press conference yesterday that they intend to incorporate art. We hear that a lot from projects, and, the proof will be in how that's actually delivered.
All right, David, I want to play a clip and just get your response to it. David Johnson is joining us here on KCMO. He is on the board for the Crossroads Community Association. Earl Santee with Populous, the architecture firm in town that's putting this project together, of course. I just want to get your response to something he said yesterday and, as a member of the board, what you think about this from Earl Santee.
The key thing for us is that we've heard all of you say what's important to you. And so looking ahead, it's connecting great neighborhoods in Kansas City is really important. It's how being a good neighbor is really important. And so for us to seamlessly engage this building into the Crossroads is important to us, but it's also important to the community. So it is an opportunity that we think is well worth the chance of moving forward.
What would you say to Earl Santee there, David Johnson?
Show us the street level renderings. I think what we saw yesterday was a lot of beautiful aerials and views from within the stadium and gleaming downtown buildings on the perimeter. I should note that the ballpark also seems to face away from the Crossroads. And I know there's some logistical issues with siting a major league ballpark and the direction it has to be for sunlight and all that stuff. But that didn't go without notice. But yeah, show us the street level presence. What is it going to look like? I mean, these are human scaled buildings that are going to be demolished to make way for a very, very large master development that includes more than just the ballpark. We want to see what that interface with the street is going to look like. That's important to the neighborhood. We reiterated that during our emergency board meeting last night, and it's on our list to talk about with the teams.
Are there folks in the Crossroads district who might be, a couple of blocks away from where the stadium is proposed, and they may love this because they're hoping it would be a big boost to their business, getting, large numbers of people down there 81 nights a year? Are you hearing both sides of that?
Absolutely. Okay. I don't want this to come off, and that was the tone of our statement we issued last night, was not to come off that it's all one big concern and that everybody's up in arms. I mean, my personal opinions on this are quite strong, but we're a diverse community, lots of strong opinions built by entrepreneurs and small businesses who have creative interests and love being independent. And so you're going to hear a lot of different opinions. Some people are probably enamored with the potential business they might get, but that's also 81 nights a year, not 365. So as we've seen from some of these large events like the NFL draft, which was widely considered a bust by Crossroads retailers, we're going to have to see some data about what adjacent downtown ballparks see when the games aren't being played.
Yeah. Do you have any immediate meetings with anyone from the Royals as a Crossroads board yet?
Nothing's on the calendar. We've spoken to them exactly twice in the last few weeks, and we're looking forward to more conversation. We are holding an emergency community meeting probably next Tuesday. We'll be out with more details on our social channels, KC Crossroads and kccrossroads.org website with details about that. It is a Crossroads community meeting. So we're really wanting to hear from our neighbors and members, and the Royals, of course, are invited to attend that.
All right, David Johnson, thank you for the time this morning. We appreciate it, and would love to stay in touch. Have a great day.
Thanks, Pete.
All right, David Johnson on KCMO Talk Radio. Appreciate him hopping on the show for a few minutes.